We've seen a slew of organizations who have been mired in scandal over the years, be it Volkswagen, be it Enron years back, Wells Fargo more recently. What happens when boards fail?
Now, that's a leap. When companies fail.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Companies make big boo-boos, right? Like some of these that we talked about. Sometimes oversight of the board, and they have missed something. Okay. Sometimes the boards didn't create the processes that I described to you to create enough checks and balances to know if things are going out of ordinary, the board should get to know. Sometimes the boards are just misled. Okay. So all these things happen. Okay. Now, there have been failures of companies. The consequences of some of these mistakes, and whether they're misses of the board or the management or whatever, are very serious for the shareholders because they can lose all their value. There can be criminal and civil prosecution of the company and individuals. So consequences are severe. And what has happened in the last 15, 16 years with Sarbanes-Oxley and other regulations, the accountability on the board has increased. A lot of people today are scared of being on the board for that reason, because individual directors are individually responsible. Okay. So a lot of companies do not allow their CEOs, in fact, most companies today don't allow CEOs, their sitting CEOs, to join more than one other board because it's a lot of work and they don't want their CEO to be distracted. It wasn't like that 20 years ago. CEOs used to sit on 3 boards, 4 boards, and it was 4-hour meeting and that's it. But now there's a lot more work and is required. So when boards miss something, and it has happened, you talked about Wells Fargo, there are cases of whether it's in Citibank, whether it's in JP Morgan, financial services are better publicized today than some of the other stuff, Yahoo, whether if you lose 500 million names and credit card numbers are compromised through some company, whether it's a retail chain or whoever. These are serious issues for the company. Now, sometimes, despite everything that the board does, they still happen because it's a cat and mouse game, especially in the high-tech industry where stuff happens. So the boards have to be constantly trying to be ahead of the game. And it is in that context that the boards sometimes need to have experts on the board for risk. And sometimes even when they have experts on the board, they need to have an external perspective. So experts, there are organizations like Protiviti and cybersecurity experts and food security experts. You've got to ensure that you're listening to them and getting some kind of an independent audit of the company to find out where are the emerging risk areas. The old risk areas, you go in, everyone talks about how they manage risk, but there are emerging risks. So I see this in the banking industry all the time, that every 10 years there is a change of generation and they forget all the previous lessons and they start doing the same thing all over again. And the cycle has just begun.